All right, hey everybody, Tom and Krista here from Throne Builders.
Hi.
We are in St. Petersburg, Florida, and want to give the word for the week for November 5th through 11th, and share some things with you. The week actually ends with my sister's birthday. Yay!
Yay.
So I think she's like 70 years old or something like that. And I'm just kidding.
Hi, Steph.
She won't see this probably, so it doesn't matter.
Maybe we'll send it to her now.
Maybe we will. Just going to be brief today. We're actually out in a beautiful little cemetery right down the road from where we're staying, and it's just a pretty little backdrop, so we thought we'd come here and give the word this week. But I heard the Lord say two things about this week, as in some people are going to begin to experience this, and other people are simply going to see a process that begins, but they won't really see the manifestation right now. But I heard divine deaths, and I saw sorrow. And many people are going to experience, and this isn't, there's no judgment here. This isn't, oh, God's punishing people. And it's not a word of fear. It's just a word of reality. You know, people pass away, people die, and sorrow is an unfortunate and very hurtful part of our lives. But it is something that God can use to turn things around for us, to heal us of things that are hidden within. Sometimes Sometimes there's a process of grief that can only be provided by the loss of dear ones, okay? And nobody despises this more than we do. We've lost people that we love. We've lost people that were jerks, you know. So we've been on both sides of that, but it's painful when you lose people. But God says there's some sorrow coming. Don't be moved. Don't be shaken. Don't feel like you're being forsaken or you're being cast away. Don't feel like, don't buy into the lie that God took them. I'm astonished at how many believers think that God just takes people. And I mean, I realize that maybe He does, but for the most part, people die because of bad eating habits, bad chemicals that they're exposed to,
or
high
just
stress,
their time to go,
or they're old, or or an accident's happened, car accidents and different things like that. God is the God of life. His culture is all about life. And of course, when people leave this body of flesh, it doesn't mean that they die, but nevertheless. So the other thing is that I saw that at the same time as the sorrow, there's also, it's a great time of great joy for many. And dreams being fulfilled. I thought of the psalm where they talked about coming back from the Babylonian captivity and how it was like a dream to them, and they looked around and wondered, how could this be? Many of us are getting ready to step into the how could this be time. Amen. And the manifestation of things, and we've been experiencing that, right? Many of us have been seeing settlements come in, relationships getting restored, having some healing testimonies, and God is coming through in big ways, and there's a lot of joy coming out of that. But now there's an upgrade, and there's going to be more for us and more opportunity for us to experience the joy of the Lord in all new ways. So be encouraged, even if there's a mingling of both, even if sorrow is mingled with joy, be encouraged. God is not taking things away from you. He is the restorer of life and the restorer of joy. So even if sorrow comes, joy is coming for you. And for many, this will just be an explosive week. We're going into an explosive season of joy and comfort and excitement in the kingdom of heaven. So your turn.
Well, thank you. We were out here in the cemetery. We were walking, and it's a good place to get prayer time when you don't have a place to go. And some of these cemeteries are beautiful, by the way. If you ever need a place, you might want to check one out. So earlier, as I was walking down these trails, actually this happened yesterday, that's right. I was walking, and all of a sudden the Father just started to speak to me, and He was showing me something I needed to do. And when things like this come into your head, into your spirit, it's not you doing it, because you would never think of this, And so I was walking over here on this trail, and the Father said, you need to release some things that have been on you for basically your whole life. Some heavy burdens, and specifically burdens you have carried that belong to other people. And one of the things, I mean, it may sound a little strange, but one thing He showed me was that I've been carrying around a lot of people's secrets for about 30 years. People tell me their secrets, and they know they can trust me, and so I take them, and of course I don't share them with anybody. It's none of anybody's other business, whatever how you say that. And that was a tongue twister, wasn't it?
They got good English today.
I won't try to say that again, but you know what I mean by that. Awesome. So I've carried around a lot of secrets and a lot of burdens, because when you hear people's story, when you hear their heartaches, it does affect you. and it kind of gets heaped on top of you, and then the next person tells you their story and tells you about their woes, and then that gets heaped upon you, and it keeps heaping on you, and you don't even know it's there. And one day you realize, I feel kind of heavy, you know, and I feel burdened down, and I don't feel like I have a lot of peace and joy, and you don't really know why. And so yesterday the Lord had me just to start releasing. He had me start saying things out loud, like, I released all the secrets that I've been told by people, and I kind of blew breath out of my mouth. I was just doing what he was leading me to do. It might sound a little strange to some of you, but I felt a release as I blew out every time. I'm like, I release all the secrets that I've been told by people that trusted me with their secrets. I release them now to you, Father, because I didn't want them just to go out in the atmosphere. I wanted the Father to you know, have them because they're safe there. So I said, I release these secrets to you, and I blew out of my mouth kind of like, you know, and I could feel a lifting. And then he had me do some other things, and some of it was even tied to forgiveness issues, because people have really wounded Tom and I, and I'm sure that you out there can identify with this. So I just continued to walk, just continued to release things, and I literally felt lighter as I walked. I thought, wow, this is working. So I'm telling you this because some of you need to do this, okay? I just see that some of you are going to do this, and you're going to feel so much lighter. So I hope you'll take my word on that and give it a shot. Another thing too that God showed me is we're in a time of divine favor and increase, especially in the realm of finances. Some of you out there are going to be getting settlements. We said that on the last word. But there's a second part to this God showed me. So last week was part 1, and this is part 2 today. So for the finances, the Father said that when you get the finances that some of you have been waiting for a long time, not only does he want you to be good with that money and steward it and make sure you give to the people that God tells you to give to, but also he's going to be testing you. Okay, now this may sound a little like, oh no, you know, I don't want to do the wrong thing with the money. It's not to make you nervous, it's not to make you fearful, but it's to get you to think about, why do I have this money? What am I going to do with this money? What will this money benefit me from 10 years from now, knowing what I sowed? And I'm not talking about just sowing into ministries or sowing into your sister that needs help. I'm not just talking about that. God has specific ways that he would love for you to use that money. But a lot of people don't even think to come and ask him. Or you might come and say, God, okay, show me what to do with the money and I'll do what you say. But then we really don't hear anything, so we just kind of go and do whatever we want to do with the money, right? Have you ever been there? I know I have. And that's not the way he wants us to operate. He wants us to come to him, take our time, and seek him out for this. And I heard the Father say that he's going to be testing us with some of the amounts of money that he gives to us, and he's going to watch to see how good we do with this money, because if we do good with it, then he'll give us more. And I want to share one quick story with you, and we'll see if Tom's got anything else to say.
Always have.
As you know, this is improv, and we don't plan this. So when we were back in Idaho, one day I was coming out of the shower. I was just stepping out of the shower, and I was not anticipating anything to happen, of course. And as I stepped out of the shower, I heard God speak to me, probably the loudest I've ever heard him speak to me. It was a sobering moment. I was not afraid, but I was kind of like nervous, like, okay, it was one of those feelings of awe and respect, and like, I need to really listen right now to what he's about to tell me, because this is a serious moment. And so as I stepped out of the shower, the Lord said to me, and it seemed like a very big voice, he said, you're about to be very wealthy. How are you going to steward it? And I kind of froze in my tracks, and I thought, well, I don't know. I mean, I knew that I would do well with the wealth, but honestly, if you want to know, then this was about 4 years ago this has happened, so it's been a while. Yeah. But I thought the next day I was going to get $1 million check in my mailbox. I thought it was going to be there, and I come to find out, nope,
no $1 million check.
It wasn't there.
We looked.
And so recently, as we've been traveling, and now we're in Florida, the Lord's been showing me so much now that was him testing me, and also mainly he was preparing me so that when we do have the wealth that he promised to us, that between the time he said that to me and the time that I get the wealth, I'll be ready for it. Yeah. I'll be prepared. Yeah. And that's powerful if you think about it, because you know, if I would have got the money, but I got the money 2 years ago, I'm sure I would have done good things with it, but maybe not what I should have done with it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, it's really interesting because just this week we feel like this past week we feel like we finally got some real clarity as to where we are supposed to be.
Amen.
And it's actually what he was speaking to us earlier this year, but he had us take an unexpected detour to get us to Florida so that we could begin to prepare here for what we're doing, and we'll be releasing more about this very soon. But it requires so much for God to get visionaries like us, like most of you that watch our videos, and like us, to get us to the place where we can understand. When I told you you're going to change the world, I meant you're going to change the world.
That's right.
And he has to build this inside of us and cause it to be a part of us. Just one real quick thing about stewarding the money, and then we're done. Some of you need to take some of the money that comes your way, and you need to do something nice for you.
Yes.
Okay. Some of you women need to go get some new clothes. You need to go get a facial, a manicure, pedicure, whatever.
Right.
Get the supplements you've been wanting to get. Go out to a nice meal. Take your friends out for drinks. Do whatever you want. You know, go to a movie. God blessed us with a little bit of money, and we're gonna take some friends of ours out to see Thor Ragnarok tonight.
Yay!
And woohoo! And if you don't like Marvel movies, you can't be our friend. Okay? I'm just kidding. From a distance, we can be through our YouTube channel. But
he didn't mean that.
But in any case, do something nice for yourself. Be a blessing to yourself. God gives us wealth, not to just be spoiled, rotten little brats running around with all this stuff, but he gives us wealth because he wants us to enjoy life too.
That's right.
We have 3 kids. We love for our children to enjoy life.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in us that wants them to do everything for us, okay?
That's right.
We want them to have a wonderful, blessed life. So this is Tom and Krista from Throne Builders. Have a great week this week. Please continue to interact with us, like our channel, subscribe to our channel, and share our stuff with your friends. We're wanting people to reach out to us and connect. We're offering prophetic words through our website, thronebuilders.org, and we hope that you'll take the time to reach out and connect with us. God bless everybody.
Bye-bye.
Take care.